Welcome to Dad Got This. What's cooking today? Beef Kaldereta in the Instant Pot. Making Filipino food fast and easy. Dad got this.
Who got this? Dad got this.
So we're here. We're getting ready to make our beef Kaldereta. And I figured I'll mix it up a little bit. I'm going to do some of the prep while I talk to you about what this dish is about. So, first thing we have here. Beef Kaldereta is a traditional Filipino stew. It's usually done with mutton or goat meat. So a lot of people don't really like goat meat, and it's not very easy to get anywhere. So we're gonna do ours with some eye-round roast stew meat. Comes out great. Beef Kaldereta is basically a tomatoey stew. So for it, you need some peppers, and we're going to cut these up into rings, or half rings. So we'll take and it's traditionally a spicy stew, but we're not doing spicy because I'm the only one that likes spicy in the family. So we're just going to do a regular version, and Dad will add his spice at the end. So just cut your peppers in half, take the centers out. Bell peppers aren't hot anyway, but get all the seeds out. And then we're gonna just slice them into little rings. Well, half rings. This is one of my favorite Filipino dishes. Order it all the time if we order food from the Filipino place. Figured, why not learn how to make it myself? I'm gonna just do the same thing for the green. And there we go. So this has some tomato paste. You've got a little bit of paprika in there, or paprika. How do you say it? Tell me in the comments. Is it paprika or paprika? I don't know. So then we need an onion. Now we're going to do the same thing. Slices. We got a little soy sauce in there. I'm using a little bit of red wine in mine. That's done in a lot of the traditional dishes where they marinate the meat in the red wine, but we're not going to marinate our meat because we're using the pressure cooker, and you really don't need to marinate meat for that. It's going to come out infused with all the flavors of the pressure cooker, whether you marinated it or not. So, peel your onions, and we're going to do the same thing. Nice, maybe, I think that's maybe like an eighth to, yeah, probably about an 1/8 inch slice. So for those of you who don't know, I cook a lot of Filipino food. My wife likes her Filipino food. I like to cook, so I figured out how to cook Filipino food. I also like Filipino food. Filipino food is delicious. They have so many influences and flavors. It's Spanish, it's Chinese. It's got all the different types of cuisines in there, and it's just awesome. I gotta go get a peeler. I'll be right back. Some potatoes. We need them peeled. You need to watch me do that. Once your potatoes peeled, just get them into some nice big chunks. Big chunks will be easier to deal with in the Instant Pot, so I'd say maybe about that. And it's just a nice big chunk. And as you can see, I've got my white cutting board out. I'm not Using my nice wood cutting board because right now I'm getting ready to cut up some roast. And I use my white cutting boards. I have a video on all the different types of cutting boards and why I like to use these plastic cutting boards for cutting meat. And I use wood cutting boards most of the time for cutting all my veggies. But since I'm going to be cutting meat anyway, I figured I'd cut my veggies ahead, go get my meat, cut my meat. All done, one board, a little easier cleanup. So we need 3 carrots. And you want to peel them. Just gonna chunk these up. Nice big chunks. The bigger the chunks, the better they'll kind of hold up in the pressure cooker. And we're going to set a lot of this aside because some of it's going to cook in the pressure cooker with the meat, and some of it's going to cook just a little simmer while you're thickening the sauce later. The carrots and the potatoes are going to go in with the meat. The onions, peppers are going to go after in the sauce. Let me get a bowl. This is a nice hearty stew. It's great for cold nights. Very filling. The veggies are nice and filling. And it's got a wonderful flavor to it. This is a beef bottom round roast. You could use chuck roast. You can use stew meat. I like to buy my roast and cut my meat out of it myself because the stew meat is basically the scraps that the butcher had that he doesn't want to give you in a roast that he couldn't make in a roast when they cut everything down. So it's not always the greatest meat. So if you buy yourself your roast and cut it yourself, usually you get a little bit better meat. This one's got a little fat cap on the bottom here. I don't know if we'll need much of that fat. Maybe a little bit we'll leave on there. So this is about what pound sucker is this? About 4 1/4 pound roast. We only really need about 3 or so pounds for our family. So I'm gonna cut off a nice thick little steak from here to do an experiment in my sous vide cooker. I'm gonna try and cook that like a steak, almost like a prime rib. See how it comes out. This is cheap meat, and if you can sous vide it for a long time and make it tender and nice, it might be fun. So we got our roast. We're gonna cut some maybe 1-inch chunks out of here. And there actually is some decent fat marbling through here. So I think I'm gonna cut off most of this fat. I'll leave a little bit in there, just for some flavor. But I think the majority of this is coming off. That's not gonna, it's pretty hard fat. It's probably not gonna render down that well. So with this cut of meat, I think we're gonna cut it off. Now you can keep this beef fat, and you can do all sorts of stuff with beef fat. You can render it down, you could make lots of different things from this beef fat if you wanted to. Or you could just chuck it. I know lots of people who keep it. I don't know what I'll do with it, we'll see. So, there we go. We're gonna cut some nice chunks. Keep them nice and big. There we go. Most recipes call for liver paste. Use that to thicken the sauce. I'm gonna go a different route. I'm gonna dredge these in some flour and then brown them and use that to help thicken my sauce a little bit. And then if I have to at the end, I'll add in a little cornstarch. So we need some flour. And it wouldn't be Dad Got This if I didn't use my spice shaker, my garlic powder and onion powder. This is just equal parts garlic powder and onion powder in the spice shaker. A couple tablespoons of each. And you just shake it all over the meat. I like to do that. I think it gives a little bit deeper flavor. A lot of cooking is layering flavors. The more things you can flavor and season, the more layers of flavor your food's gonna have. So I'm just gonna hit all this stuff here with some seasoning. As you noticed, I'm not putting any salt in here yet. Reserving the salt for the end so I can salt the taste, because sometimes you can't go backwards. You can't add salt and then take it away and be like, oh, that's too salty. What do? It's really hard to get rid of too much salt in a dish. So after we've seasoned our meat, we're gonna dredge it in some flour. This is just a dry dredge. So we need a little bit of flour in here. This is just your all-purpose flour. And we're just gonna go ahead and take these. Coat them up in some flour. I didn't wet them in any specific way. It's just to get a little bit of something on here so that when we do our saute, it's gonna build a little bit of extra texture for us to deglaze. And that's gonna give us a nice thickened sauce. That's it. All our prep is done. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to overhead for this so you can see how we assemble everything in the Instant Pot, and check back in when everything's done. Saute mode, normal. Just enough oil. To coat the bottom. We're gonna let this warm up for 5 or so minutes till it just slightly starts to smoke.
Two tablespoons of minced garlic. 1 cup red wine.
Now we're gonna deglaze this. You wanna make sure that you really scrape the edges here. Otherwise, you might get a burn notice. Make sure you get all that little bits that formed on the bottom while you were sauteing that flour meat. Soy sauce, bay leaves, paprika, stir it up. Beef, potatoes, and carrots. We're going to cook this on the meat stew setting for 35 minutes. Okay, dad things happen, and it's been a lot longer than a 15-minute natural lease. It's been about an hour and 40 minutes. It's not going to affect anything here, so we're just going to go ahead and open this up. Our beef stew is pretty good. We got nice tender beef. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add in our onions, our peppers, and our olives.
Ew.
We're going to stir this up.
It's dripping. It's dripping.
That's okay. And we're just gonna let this simmer for probably about 20-25 minutes on kind of a low simmer. So to do that, you're gonna go ahead and hit cancel, manual, saute, and let it go on the normal setting, and that should be good. And we should start getting some bubbling and some simmering. That'll tender crisp the vegetables, and this will be pretty much ready to go. For more recipes and videos, visit dadgotthis.com. To be sure you don't miss anything, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the damn bell.
Now, I did this wrong, apparently.
Come on, you have to do it. It was a double dog dare. I mean, those are the rules.